I think the confidence level has gone up really high because it was my first game in my career, huge tournament for me, and I think the confidence which I am building on now and the way I am expressing myself on court has really gone up, and I think I am playing quite aggressive and more bold to play on court after the games. I think I'm very nice, very soft, and a lot of friends like to hang around. Because it's always like, a sport guy, I always feel he has to have two characters. Like, he has to have one off court and one on court character. Because you can't be, and you will be a very terrible person if you're the same person outside the court as well. So I'm very nice, I like to move around with friends. But when it comes to table, however close I am, I just take a new avatar and come there, and then you forget it when you go out of the arena. I think he's been the backbone. He was the only person who used to take me every day to the club and bring me back and give me that self-confidence. So probably he was a backbone for the entire family because we never knew. I just knew playing table tennis and the background work which was required to play such level was taken care by my dad, because without him it was impossible to get. He didn't have a sport background, but still he was so much enthusiastic. And when he was even in deathbed, the only words which came from him was like, how you're playing, how is it going. He was that much into the sport, and I think that really make me work hard, and I felt that I should win this for him, and probably his aim is like I should win an Olympic medal, and that is what I'll be looking forward. For a family without a sporting background, you don't know where to go, like there is no path laid out. So it's all totally new. You're traveling in a very new path and you don't know how to travel and what the destination is, and that is the main issue where you have to face. So we were all uncertain. Even I was winning a lot of tournaments, my family was uncertain on how to have a professional career in sport, and they had a lot of other options. So the main issue was I was also studying well. So so that became a problem on when you were doing good in both fields, and then you have to decide on what to do. So this is where there was dilemma, and of course they chose studies because they knew they have been good students. My dad was gold medalist in his college, so we had a very strong academic background family. So that is why he was like we have to choose. But I had passion towards the sport, so he made me like you have to play the sport, but try to do it in coherence with your studies. So there was a lot of dilemma and a lot of confusions. So there were more of a trial and error and going out and trying out everything. So this was major issues, but I think he knew that I had it in me that in the sport, and he never let me down like saying leave the sport or something. He just always encouraged me to play table tennis. Everyone normally asks this question. I think it's been complementing each other for me. So it's always been helpful. I was actually good in studies. I liked the subjects a lot of maths, science. They were more fun. I took it as a fun because I always felt table tennis is more of a struggle, because maths and science you learn the same subjects every time. It's like 5 years once probably it changes, but table tennis has taught me so many things. You are so good and you still go and lose to a player, and you would have practiced for 1 year and still you can go and lose in a tournament. But that's what happens in a sport. So sport has taught me so many things, but studies was comparatively much easier than sport, because what's going to come in the exam. You're all prepared and you just go out there and you write it. So I think it was all, I probably in 10th standard I just attended 2 months of school, and I scored 480 out of 500 in the 10th sports, and even the 12th exams was quite well. I scored like 90%, and then I went on. I wanted to do something related to computers, but I was okay. Finally I took to engineering. I did information technology, and that was also very good, because that was a more difficult part, because I was already in a very good level in the sport. So then the higher you go in the sport, that's a part where it gets difficult, because you want to aim higher, and it was quite hard. But I think it's all planning. You just have to be determined, do the stuff right, to plan it. Of course, miss a lot of family functions. I don't know a lot of relatives' names. My mother introduces me to some uncle, and he's like, I've seen him somewhere, So that kind of approach, because it was quite difficult for me. But I think a lot of planning, a lot of late night waking up and studying all day, and I think there was a lot of hard work, a lot of struggle. But hats off to my family who wrote all my record books and doing all my assignments. My whole family and friends, class, everyone actually did the assignments. On the exams were all like, supportive. I did, the only job I did was studying. I mean, okay, that was the only job I did, and all the other work like practical records and assignments and stuff, files, everything was taken care of by my friends and my family. I started table tennis at 5, so I don't think I could have tried anything before that. I mean, we just started table tennis was an accident, because my mom wanted me to put me in any sport, because she didn't want me to be like a normal guy playing video games and staying at home, just to stay healthy and stay fresh. So that is why she wanted actually to join both my sisters. I have two sisters, Divya and Rekha. So she wanted those two sisters to join. And when my first coach Chandrasekhar saw me in, she took me along because she couldn't leave me alone in the house. I was just like 4.5. So that is when my first coach said, like, my elder sister Divya is already like in 6th standard, and that's a little late considered for table tennis, because table tennis you have to start at a very early age. And he recommended my mom, like, to join me, and that is how I joined. It could have been any sport, but for table tennis was the closest sport center which started to my house. So that was the only reason why I joined table tennis, because she couldn't travel long way to drop me in. So she wanted some sport, individual sport close to my house. And probably I think all I knew was, when I knew what's actually happening, was only table tennis, because I don't remember anything like when I was 2 years or 3 years old. So I used to try a lot of hands on other sports like basketball and cricket, of course, and watch a lot of tennis. I am really a big fan of tennis and football, so I have a lot of following of other sports right from my childhood. And I think I just played so much of table tennis that I didn't have any time to try on anything else. It was like SDAT Medimix Academy. I mean, we used to wear green t-shirts. I mean, I think that was our trademark, where the entire India used to be like scared when they see like a green army. Like, we were so good. There were a lot of good players in my batch. I think that really helped me, because I was competing constantly at a very high level. So that really helped me to push myself at a very young age, because I had a lot of competitors. You win and lose. It's very boring when you keep winning, and it's very boring when you keep losing. So I think you need a right balance, and that is what really helped me. And Chandrasekhar sir himself is an Arjuna awardee and an Olympian, so he really helped me on how to have a lot of skills. I was of course talented on picking up skills very fast, so he was really helping me out on teaching new skills. And I had that urge to do something new, and someone says like, this skill is very hard, I really want to go and try that. I used to be that kind of a kid when I was very small, and Mr. Ashok Kumar was also there. So I mean, those two really shaped me up and playing and making me a more bold player, and trying out new stuff without any fear. To be frank, in my childhood days, I used to love the sport, but I never was a very hard-working kind of player. Like, I was like more of a try to play whatever I need, and not just go out there and keep sweat every day, like, just come down like you're totally dead. I never used to like that. I used to be like, play like for 1 hour, play some quality table tennis where you want to try some skills and then come out, So I used to be that kind of a player, not do so much of fitness. I used to do very minimal fitness, and I used to just enjoy the sport, and winning was fun. So I used to keep playing. I never thought of making it really big in the sport, or what I'm going to happen. I just love the sport, and that is why I started playing it. So that is how it all worked. And then I think it all started serious when I won the 2008 Commonwealth Youth Games. So that was a very big tournament for me. That is when I realized that I am making a good career in my sport, and I can grow up. And I was playing very well, but I was more of a defensive and all-round player. People used to be like call the wall, they used to call me the wall, because I used to be very defensive, but always keep hitting the ball back on the table. But I think the whole concept changed. I was like, probably thinking I want to play just 101 balls. I just played one ball more than an opponent. And Raman sir gave me this concept, just play one ball strong enough, and so that the next ball doesn't come back. So don't try to play one ball more than the opponent, but just try to play one ball and that doesn't come back on the court. And you might initially miss that one ball, practicing that one ball, but then when you are perfect and when you really train that skill, and that is what I think took me to the next level, because in the higher levels it was all you start strong and you play more aggressive, because I was not winning more international tournaments when in the senior level, because it was a totally different game from a junior to a senior. that transformation is what Raman sir did to me, and he made me a men's player from a junior player, bringing a lot of fitness aspect into the game, more of a professional approach. Fitness was the first key thing addressed in my game, and more aggressive, close to the table, more attacking skills, and I think he just did a whole transformation in my game, and I really like the new me after the 2012. I think I just stepped it up, and in 6 years when I look down few years, I think I've changed so much as a person, as a player as well. Few years back, you would have asked me, I would be like, it's like more of a dream and stuff, but I think it's really close now. It's a short-term goal, I would call it. I mean, like, it's quite close from here, and I think we have improved very steeply. I mean, in a very good level, and we have also played well in the Commonwealth Games, of course, and not to forget the World Championships was a fantastic tournament. I think playing a tournament in a global level gives you so much confidence, and World Championships and Olympics, the name is only different, but the competition level is almost the same. And if you're able to do so well in the World Championships, then you're like going to do eventually well in Olympics. So I think we have a very good target for Olympics. We are all working hard. Now I really want to step it up, and I've had an aim of breaking into top 20. So I want to try out more skills, improve on my serves and receive, and I definitely feel we have a chance. I have a chance, and the Indian team has a chance at winning an Olympic medal and making history for table tennis. UTT will be a great platform. Like World Championships was quite different because we had 5 games and here it's 3 games. So it's more of learning process for us. So I think this will get more experience for us. It's more of a different way of learning from the World Tour tournaments, which will, this kind of UTT will really help us to perform better in tournaments like World Championships and bigger games. I think that is a platform they're setting it up, and foreign players coming down to India, which is something very different because it's always been the opposite. So that is something which is going to be really helpful for us. Our routine runs quite hard. I mean, wake up at like 5:30 every day. So we start our fitness from like 6:30 to 7:30. It goes up to 7:45, and then we have breakfast like 8:30 to 9 or something, and then we start from 9:30 to 12 is what's skill practice and the table tennis practice, and then we break, and then we start again from 4 to 7:30. So probably like we play around 6.5 hours a day, and then 1.5 hours of fitness. So it's close to 8 hours, and then it's more customized. So the fitness schedule will have strength training, agility training, and then core training and everything. And then there will also be games when we play games with the multi-ball training, and also with against robo and few games with my partners on specific skills. So we just schedule it up on according to the fitness level and according to the fatigue level. So this goes up to like 6 days a week, and we just break on Sunday. I like to watch a lot of movies. I'm a very big movie buff, so I watch a lot of movies, sport movies or more comedy movies, or I try to take out the pressure and stress when you're playing, because it's so much of energy going on when you're playing. So a lot of movies, and apart from that I used to read books, but I think I lost that habit with engineering. so I don't read much books now, but I'm trying to pick it up with some interesting novels also. But otherwise I go around with friends, like we just go around, have some coffee. I'm a very big coffee lover, so I like to have a lot of coffees, try new cuisines and stuff. So I think I don't have much time basically apart from table tennis, because you spend most of the time off court recovering. Like you need to go for a swim, or you need to go for a massage, or you need to go for a physio. So this is what we actually do apart from table tennis in order to get back on court. And I think that is why Sunday is given not to relax, it's just to recover. First tournament was this 2008 Commonwealth Youth Games, because that gave me something very big insight on I can make a profession into the sport. I think that is when it really struck me hard that this is something serious sport, but I can really make it big, because I won a very big, huge international tournament. And for me personally, the Pro Tour event in Spain, the second Pro Tour event actually. Belgium is very close to my heart. Belgium 2016 was my first Pro Tour event, and Spain was my biggest moment, I would call, because winning the first Indian to win on the second Pro Tour title, actually I felt like, I'm a world class player and able to beat those Japanese, able to beat those Koreans and Chinese. I think that tournament was fantastic because I never played so good in my life, in my career as of now. And of course, Commonwealth Games is something which I always dreamt of. So for a sports person, I think it's really hard to pick one moment. So there's been so emotional moments, but I would call Spanish Open 2017 and Commonwealth Game winning that gold medal and national anthem going up, was these two moments were really special. I used to have some kind of superstitions, but I think I've just gone above this because it keeps changing so frequently. Like, I just keep changing my lucky t-shirt, I just keep changing my lucky color. So then at a point of time, I look down a few years, I feel like I almost used all the colors as my lucky colors, or I almost used like 10 t-shirts and I still keep winning. So I think that is the key I learned, that it's just here. I mean, so if something feels good, don't use it as superstition. Like, I think something feels good before a match, it's always fun. So you call it superstition, you call it lucky, or you call it whatever name you want. So I just go out there and do whichever feels good for me before the match. Keep me in a very positive frame of mind. And of course, I do have a lot of rituals. Like, I make sure that I'm in a very calm mind. I love to listen to A.R. Rahman music. I think that really gives me a lot of calmness in the mind. And just before the match, I also listen to a lot of pumping music. Like, where you really go high and you're like all pumped up, and get that warming up during my warming up sessions. So I really listen to a lot of music like Chak De India or something like this, where it really gives you that energy. And then I just go out there, do my mental conditioning techniques, where you get used to the tightness of the muscle, the butterflies in the stomach. So I just get used to that, and of course I have a game plan strategy and stuff like this. And we have a plan A, plan B, plan C, which is going to do it step by step in the game. So go out there and I think have fun, and there are a lot of other situations you will face during the match. So I think that is when you have to be calm and just be prepared that something which you're planning to do is not going to happen, and something unexpected is going to happen. I think that is the first plan I do when I go for a match. Football. Manchester United. Ronaldo. Chocolate ice cream. Chicken biryani. அம்மாவோட கூட்டு. Priyanka Chopra. Sharat Kamal. Prabhakaran, my close friend. Movies. Marvel. Single. I have not experienced it. Yeah, probably, maybe. I'm a more fun-loving person and like to make new friends. In Chennai, yeah, I like to go to Sathiyan, or abroad, Paris. A.R. Rahman. Dogs. Entering into the college, into the director's room when everyone is just waiting for him. Now you enter like a hero. I think there's been a huge support system for me and so many people working for me in my success. I just show up on the table, but there's so much behind the arena, and I really thank my parents first, who've been supporting me throughout my career, and then my family, my sisters, who've been very supportive for me as well, and my school management, Mr. Pillai sir and Kolabarman Chetty Vaishnav Senior Secondary School. I think without the school management support, which is actually the pillar for you coming down the lane, so they have really made free schooling for me from 3rd standard, and I think that is why I wanted to give back to the school. And of course my engineering college, St. Joseph's Engineering College, who gave me a free seat as well, and just I was never in college, and they gave me so much permission to travel around the world and go to a lot of tournaments, take part in wherever training competitions I need. And I have my employer, ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. I think they've given me bread and butter, and made the huge difference they made is actually convinced my parents and convinced a lot of relatives that I can take up the sport. I think thanks to ONGC, because without that it was really difficult to make a profession in the sport. So ONGC has played a huge role, and then I really started playing well. And Go Sports Foundation I have to mention, because when I was really coming up, in 2012, that is when they took off. Not like when I was already established player. So when they really helped me out, when I was really needed the support at the very perfect time, and they have really helped me. And the Sports Development Authority of Tamil Nadu, who did a elite sports person scheme, who gave me money in beforehand to have exclusive training in abroad countries, playing a lot of tournaments, and Sports Authority of India, and Table Tennis Federation of India, and the Tamil Nadu Table Tennis Association. I think they've been all backbone, and I hope the support continues and I can make my country proud. Thank you so much. And my coach, who I have to mention, I think I don't have to mention him, because without him nothing goes right actually. My coach Raman sir, I think we have a very special bonding between us, and it's been he's been my coach and mentor. So I think he has made a huge transformation in my game. I'm really thankful to Raman sir and the Raman TT High Performance Center, where I really grew. And I hope the support system really continues, and I can make a big mark. And thanks to the media as well, who has been promoting me. Thank you so much.